That's a beautiful piece of chicken.
Well, thank you.
I'm Samah Dada. I'm a cookbook author and recipe developer in the plant-based food scene, which is becoming more innovative every day. I'm on a mission to see how startups, restaurants, and chefs are changing the way we see and eat plants. And I can't wait to show you how to bring more delicious dishes into your kitchen. Comfort food. From a decadent cheeseburger to a sky-high layer cake, or my favorite, my mom's spicy, warming dal. Usually these indulgent eats aren't exactly vegan-friendly. Even many traditional dal recipes are often prepared with ghee. But these days, you can easily ditch the dairy, and you won't even miss the meat, with new plant-based takes on traditional comfort foods being served at restaurants all across the country. In Portland, I'm meeting a chef making crunchy fried chicken without the bird. And in New York, I'm sampling a Big Apple staple, cheesecake. But this one happens to be raw and vegan. But first up, I'm heading to Los Angeles, my hometown, to visit a popular fast food chain serving up show-stopping burgers without the beef. Growing up in SoCal, there was nothing more comforting than grabbing a burger by the beach and cruising down the Pacific Coast Highway. Monty's Good Burger in LA is recreating that iconic experience for a plant-based generation. Everything here, from a melty cheeseburger to fully loaded fries, and even their creamy milkshakes, is totally vegan. Lexi Jarris is the co-founder of the up-and-coming chain.
What inspired you to start this place?
I and my partners, it was a time in the vegan space in LA where there wasn't just a really good casual vegan burger. I felt like in order to get that like fix for a burger, I had to go somewhere with like white tablecloths and like you had to be waited on.
In 2018, Lexi founded Monty's with Bill Fold and Nick Adler. Lexi and Bill both work in the music industry. He's a festival producer, and Lexi is a creative consultant for Coachella. Nick brought the culinary chops as a former food director for music festivals.
I think because we all come from music, when it came time to like market and brand and like strategize how to grow, we were all coming at it from such like a non-traditional viewpoint.
The Monty's team runs their business differently from many restaurants. They focus on creating digital buzz with celebrity milkshake collabs, pop-ups at festivals, and lots of merch. While Monty's now has 5 locations and millions of burgers sold, they make more money from their swag, like hats, t-shirts, and mugs, than the food. The star of said merch and the brand's namesake is Lexi's adorable schnoodle mix.
How did Monty become the mascot? He's lucky. He's a lucky pup.
He's very lucky. He was found essentially on the streets of Riverside, which is kind of nuts. We looked for his owners. They were nowhere to be found. So after a few weeks, I was like, this is my son now. But it really kind of goes to show like the playfulness and like the headspace we were in when we started Monty's. Do work a lot with animal rescues now, and that is kind of something that's like in our ethos. We care a lot about animals, obviously, but not just eating less of them, but also giving some like fluffy guys and then around the LA area homes.
Monty's is dedicated to getting pets adopted, from dogs to cats and even guinea pigs. But their main mission is to change how people see vegan food.
I think what's really interesting is that there is this stigma and this stereotype that vegan food has to be super healthy, right?
When I first became vegan, a lot of my friends that aren't vegan would have dinner with me and they would leave and be like, I'm still hungry. I hate when Lexi picks the restaurant. I think if you come here, I highly doubt that someone will leave here, still being hungry. It's lots of tots, lots of shake, lots of burger. To me, I feel that anytime someone is eating a plant-based meal instead of a meal that has like dairy, meat, whatever, that's just kind of a win for like the animals, the planet, their health, all that good stuff.
I love that. Tell me about the future of Monty's. Where do you want to take this?
Yes, honestly, like the sky's the limit. Like I don't want to say too big, but we're all definitely thinking like as big as America wants us to be.
Amazing. I'm so hungry now. I want everything. I will order every single day.
Monty's Good Burger is reimagining fast food for a new era. Co-founder Lexi Jarris introduced me to Gemma Kessler, the chain's operation manager. Gemma trains new chefs on how to cook the entire menu, which includes a plant-based chicken sandwich and fully loaded fries. And she's teaching me how to make the restaurant's signature item.
Okay, Gemma, you are gonna show me how to make the Monty's Good Burger.
Let's do it.
Let's
I think
go.
you're ready.
Making a Monty's burger isn't all that different from prepping a beef patty. First up, Gemma oils the grill so the impossible patties don't stick.
And then we're gonna smash those patties down. So I am going to use both spatulas and really get that squeezing out the edges there, as you can see.
Nice.
Number 1, number 2.
Perfect.
Awesome. And now we're gonna have those just crisp up and cook on one side, and then we're gonna flip them. Flip it.
Check that out.
Gorgeous.
Good thing I didn't screw that up on camera.
Right.
Next up, 2 slices of vegan cheese.
And now I'm gonna have you spray a little bit of water on the outside there, creating some steam.
All right.
Perfect.
Nice. That's gonna get all melty and
Melty,
delicious.
cheesy,
We love
delicious. Next, we're going to raise this and add some grilled onions.
My favorite. This is like your entire store of grilled
Amazing.
onions. All right. Perfect.
Perfect. Perfect. All right.
And that's
That is
it.
ready to go.
To finish the burger, we get the perfect toast on our buns.
See you later.
Time for the Monty's house bread. It's similar to a Thousand Island sauce. And what burger is complete without a pickle?
3 juicy house-made pickles
Now the patty meets the bun.
to your bottom
This
bun.
is the best part of my day. Okay. This is going straight on here.
There you go.
Feel like I'm hired. I don't want to be forward, but okay.
I think you might be. This is the final step, though. This is the important part.
Okay.
To build it all together.
All right.
Yeah, you're gonna fold that forward. Gorgeous.
Okay, I am so excited to eat this. I want to try everything else on your menu. Should we go find Lexi?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, I'm so
Ready?
excited.
Cheers.
Ready? Cheers. Okay. I can't.
This is as good as you remember.
It's better. This is so insane.
Because it has your touch.
Lexi, what does it mean to you to have this amazing and plant-based contribution to California burger culture?
This is our Culver City location, so this is definitely our most family-friendly location. And we have customers that like come in strollers with their parents, obviously, and they get like pins and stickers and things like that. But like these kids are gonna grow up with us around the corner from us. I think that's so just like brings me a lot of joy.
Especially growing up in California, and this was such a big part of my culture, like getting a burger whenever going to the beach, and
Yeah.
I feel like I can have that experience again in a plant-based way. So thank you and cheers.
It means the world. Thank you so much.
Have to take a picture,
Please.
because this just feels right.
We love photos around here.
Cheers.
This juicy burger had me craving more comfort food. So I'm off to Portland, where one vegan chef with a unique story is putting his own twist on Southern soul food. Portland, Oregon is one of the best cities for plant-based living. From vegan donuts in every flavor imaginable, to the world's first all-vegan barbecue joint, there is no shortage of delicious veggie-forward fare here. One of my favorite spots is Dirty Lettuce, a vegan soul food eatery helmed by a chef breaking barriers.
This is very visually impressive. Like, this literally is taking me back to like a KFC bucket.
Alkebulan Morosky is the chef and founder of Dirty Lettuce.
How do you feel like you're making vegan food more accessible, more equitable, something that is digestible, no pun intended, to a wider audience?
I feel like a lot of the vegan industry for a long time has had this very, very heavy focus on like making it as healthy and holistic as possible, and that is very important, but it's like there's a reason why McDonald's is like the colossal juggernaut it is, because sometimes people just want to be able to eat something greasy and delicious and feel good in their stomach.
Alkebulan's soul food recipes are rooted in the Southern cooking traditions from their hometown of Jackson, Mississippi.
You grew up in Mississippi. pescatarian, so eating a lot of veggies, no meat. Can you talk to me about what that was like, especially in the South, a very meat-heavy culture?
Yeah, it was one of the things that made me want to do this. Was I spent my whole childhood in the South, like surrounded by lots of fascinating cuisine, like gumbos, etouffees, and whatnot. I remember always wanting to be able to try and enjoy these different foods, and never really having the opportunity to, until I decided to just do it myself. For instance, it means like cookouts are a really, really big thing in the South. And if you don't eat a lot of animal products, then you generally can't really go and engage with them to the same extent everyone else can.
Growing up in the South was challenging in different ways for Alkebulan, who is biracial and identifies as gender neutral.
Did you feel like you had a sense of belonging growing up?
I definitely don't really describe myself as a very masculine person, but being a person that most people ID as just like a black man when they see me meant that there was a lot of intense pressure to like put on a performance of masculinity that just wasn't me at all.
And I wonder, was that a reason why you started cooking? Was it a way for you to find a sense of belonging in any way?
I did really enjoy when I first started messing around with these recipes in the South was being able to go to people who I'd known for years and were very, very against just like general vegan cooking, or like, I need my meat. And being able to come up with something and feed it to them and have them actually enjoy it and be able to go like, okay, this didn't come from a dead animal, but I'm actually enjoying my meal.
Alkebulan's mother, who is also a vegetarian, taught them how to cook.
And there were always tons and tons of cookbooks all over my household.
They loved working with Seitan and started developing a line of plant-based meats after college. But in 2019, a new law was proposed in Mississippi that changed Alkebulan's career path.
I'd already been devising recipes to move somewhere else for quite a while, and then the Mississippi legislature decided they were going to introduce a bill that would actually ban the labeling of any plant-based product as any kind of meat.
While the law ultimately was halted in court, it was a signal for Alkebulan to pack their bags and head west.
Why did you choose Portland?
So I actually had a marvelous opportunity here. So I started off in Portland in a vegan food pod. So it was like supposed to be the first vegan food pod to appear in the US.
That pod was Shady Pines Food Court, the country's first all-vegan food cart park that opened in early 2020. While Shady Pines shuttered a year later, it helped introduce Alkebulan's food to the city's vibrant culinary community.
I was definitely very well received, and I got to be part of the publicity of like a vegan food pod, all vegan.
1 year after launching their cart, Alkebulan was able to open a brick-and-mortar spot in 2021. Here, the chef experiments with new seitan meat swaps for southern staples like pork ribs and catfish.
I think in a lot of restaurants, if you go and order 3 different things made of seitan, you're going to get roughly the same seitan prepared in different ways. But I actually make a point to have like a completely different protein blend for each different fake meat that I do.
Speaking of all this food, I'm starving. I'm not gonna lie, I caught a glimpse of that fried chicken, and I think I might need it.
Ooh, how about if we get back to this kitchen?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right.
You make your iconic fried chicken out of seitan. Can you tell me about what seitan is and how you make this delicious chicken?
Oh yeah, so seitan is essentially, it is a mass of pure wheat gluten protein. Actually, you would make it by just like taking regular wheat flour and washing it until you have like a sticky protein left over. But these days you can just buy like the dehydrated gluten on its own, which is what we have here, mixed with a whole bunch of different spices.
Alkebulan adds a liquid mixture to the wheat gluten. This is the secret behind the different meat textures.
Yeah, and the idea that depending on how much like oil, fat, and water you have in your wet blend, you're going to end up with a different final product of your seitan.
The next step is similar to making bread. The seitan and liquid mixture are kneaded together.
Like, it doesn't feel like dough.
Yeah.
You know, it feels like something that has a lot more texture and pull to it.
Yeah, the weird pseudo dough.
It's very much a pseudo dough.
The dough transforms into seitan after simmering in veggie stock. After the seitan cools, it's cut into fillets and soaked overnight. Then the seitan is ready to be breaded and fried.
Here is the chicken. A major thing for me with all my seitans is I try to deliberately make them as irregular as possible. Because if you get like an actual piece of meat from an animal, it's not going to be a uniform disc.
Right, right.
The process starts with a healthy sprinkle of cayenne. Then, just like a regular dredge, it's covered in flour and a secret spice mix. The egg-free wet mixture is where things really get interesting.
Oh yeah, so this is just a blend of mustard, water, a little bit of cornstarch, and my house spice blend.
I love that. Mustard. Why mustard?
You'll see it sometimes in like old southern fried chicken recipes,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
not nearly as common as you'll see just like your standard egg or buttermilk wash. It's not as much a flavor thing as like a texture thing. Mustard is kind of acidic in a way that reacts with your breading. So yeah, going from there, we get right over into our second dry bath.
Oh.
And from here, we get pretty weird with it. This is where we're actually building that texture of the chicken by hand.
How do you do that? You just kind of...
Yeah, so we start by just sort of coating chicken and coating our breading on there, getting a nice pasty, goopy mix. So yeah, that's how it's like, looks like very rough and all over the place, but that's roughly what a piece of chicken is gonna look like before we fry it.
Wow.
It's like very rough, very lumpy. Yeah, well, check that out.
Oh, how cool. Do you trust me to make one?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, beautiful. All right, so we get these into some oil.
Okay. Oh, yes. Let's do it.
The seitan chicken fries in canola oil until it's golden brown.
I loved my fried chicken, and then I went plant-based, and I never had fried chicken, so this is an exciting
That's my
moment.
goal. It's like let people have all the tasty things they
Yeah.
ate growing up and not
Yeah.
feel guilty about it.
Alright, how's
We're
it
probably
looking?
just about ready to pull this up. That is looking pretty happy. That's definitely like the go-to signature is just getting those proper flakes.
Wait, do you hear this? You got that?
I think you eat with all of your senses, right?
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, going for it. Stop. Like, I know you know this is good, but
That's usually the response I go for.
it's so
thank
good. The, like, oh my God, I can't even speak. The breading is insane. It literally tastes like chicken.
One of the things I realized as I started messing with more and more vegan meats is that a lot of what people associate with a lot of traditional meats that they've eaten is not actually the protein itself, but just the way it's prepared.
Right. Cheers, this is delicious. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for joining.
But as delicious as Al-Kabalon seitan is, their bigger goal is making vegan food more approachable.
How do you think that you're making vegan food more equitable?
A lot of people, it's like vegan food in general, I think is still a bit overpriced in most markets. Well, honestly, a big thing for me is I try to make sure that if I offer any product on my menu, and make sure I can provide people with like a big hefty portion size and not charge them $35 for one meal.
Up next, a Brooklyn sweet shop that's ditching the dairy in creamy cheesecake. Simply Sweet, a vegan dessert shop in Brooklyn, specializes in raw desserts. That means nothing on the menu is heated above 104 degrees, so you won't find any ovens in here. Opened in 2019, Simply Sweet makes treats that are free from gluten and refined sugar. You'll find anything here to satisfy a sweet tooth, from chocolate bars to creamy cakes and fruity acai bowls.
Because I love sweets, everything sweet. I love desserts and caramel and fruits, everything sweet.
Olesya Mirpushoyeva is the owner and head pastry chef. She moved to the US from Russia in 2012. After landing in New York, Olesya quickly got her start in the food industry at Juice Press, then a fast-growing smoothie and organic food chain with a celebrity following.
I fell in love with their food and smoothies and juices, and when I got there, it was like different world, because I've never heard about some ingredients like maca powder, goji berries. I'm like, what?
Olesya also worked as a line cook at a private school in Manhattan. That's where she truly fell in love with cooking, whipping up delicious baked goods for the students. When Olesya became a mother a few years ago, she decided to start an eatery of her own.
Can you tell me about why you started Simply Sweet?
When I was pregnant, I was thinking how I'm gonna feed my baby when he's born. And when he was growing up, and then he started to pick food from my plate, I thought I'm gonna give him a piece of broccoli, but when I look into my plate, I see like slice of pizza, you know, with sausage, pepperoni, lots of cheese. I'm like,
I don't want to feed my kid this.
Yeah. And then I realized I have to start from myself, to change myself, change my everyday eating habits, so I can be an example for my son.
Her first step, lots and lots of research.
I'm not a professional chef, so I'm self-taught, and I go to Google every time when I have a question. I took some courses about chocolate, how to make chocolate at home, how to make raw vegan desserts, and vegan desserts, not only raw. Yeah, I use Instagram a lot because I follow bloggers and recipe creators. I always try stuff at home. I love to feed my family and hear their feedback, good feedback.
After 3 years of running Simply Sweet, being a mom is still Alessia's top priority.
And I have a son, he's almost 6 years old, and he likes my dessert. He's a big fan of chocolate. He likes chocolate truffles, chocolate cake. So I try to keep him healthy.
You must be the most popular mom in town. Like, do you bake everyone's cake? Or no bake? I keep saying bake, but really there's no baking involved.
I don't know. I would say, yeah, maybe I'm pretty famous here.
I had to learn the secrets behind Alessia's unique treats. So she taught me how to make her favorite item on the menu, lemon blueberry cheesecake.
It's super easy and literally everybody can make it at home.
You're not dealing with an oven. You're sticking it in the freezer, you're letting it set.
Yeah,
it's a lot. Yeah, it's like low maintenance as well.
Yeah.
First, the hazelnuts go in, then shredded coconut, and my favorite sugar alternative, dates. I love dates. It's like a part of my life and brand.
Yeah.
The mixture is blended in a food processor for 2 to 3 minutes.
So what should the texture be like, you know, when we know it's done?
Yeah, it usually changes the color.
Okay.
And it's like
A little darker.
wet.
Yeah.
The pie crust is then firmly pressed into a mold. The sticky dates help bind the raw ingredients while the base freezes for about 15 minutes.
The crust is in our freezer.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do next?
So now we're going to make our cheese part.
First in, soaked and drained raw cashews. Soaking the cashews makes them easier to blend and ensures a creamy, smooth consistency.
Our house-made coconut milk.
I love that you make your own coconut milk. So how do you make it?
We just mixed coconut butter and filtered water.
Coconut
And
butter.
that's it. Nothing
Cool.
else.
I love that. Very minimal.
Next up, maple syrup, vanilla extract, lemon juice, and melted coconut oil.
Okay, so you've
Yeah.
melted and cooled that?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's already melted, and we use coconut oil so it stay firm. And when you take the cake out of freezer, it doesn't fall apart.
The mixture is blended until it's totally smooth with no lumps. Can you believe this creamy filling is completely vegan?
Okay, it's perfect. So now we're gonna put it in the freezer for like an hour,
Okay.
and then we're gonna do our blueberry layer.
Amazing. See you later.
To the remaining cashew mixture, we add frozen blueberries and then blend again. With the fruit, the mix transforms into a stunning purple.
Love
How
it.
beautiful! I
Very
love this gorgeous
creamy.
color.
It's so pretty. Wait, we have to show them this color.
Sure.
Check this out, everyone. Look at that.
The first layer freezes for an hour before adding the blueberry flavored cream. Alessia was prepared with a fully frozen, half-finished cheesecake for me to polish off.
Gorgeous.
And then to the freezer it goes?
Yeah, to the freezer for about 5 hours.
Okay.
And then it will be ready.
And it'll be worth it. Those
Yeah.
5 hours will be worth it. All right.
Thankfully, I didn't have to wait 5 hours.
So this is how it looks like.
Yay! It's so pretty.
And we're gonna unmold it.
Okay.
After unmolding, the cheesecake gets a final decoration, shavings of Alessia's house-made chocolate.
So how long would you wait for it to thaw before you start slicing it to serve?
We will leave it at room temperature on the table for
Okay.
about 30 to 40 minutes,
Okay.
and then we can cut it.
Well, luckily, you're very prepared. You have slices for us, so can we taste?
Yeah, sure, of course.
So excited.
Here we go.
Look how pretty they are. This spoon is really fun. It's so delicious. You know, cake is such a comfort food for so many people, and a lot of people don't think they can have this healthier, delicious, decadent options. What are your favorite customer reactions from people who maybe haven't tried this before?
Most of them don't realize our dessert doesn't have eggs and flour, and they're like, wow.
Yeah.
They can't believe it.
This is so fun to make it, and I will be eating this and taking it with me. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
With innovative techniques and lots of imagination, modern chefs are turning classic meals and treats into plant-based comfort foods everyone can enjoy.